Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Saved by an Angel. My name's Ash, and in this video, I'm gonna share with you some spooky stories from the other side. Now, I've personally had all kinds of crazy experiences. I've been visited by archangels, Jesus, and even ETs. If you want to see some of those stories, you can scroll down. Pretty much most of them are, I made videos about them. So if you're unaware, if you're new to paranormal activity and you don't know how spirit likes to communicate with us down here in the physical, some things that they like to do is they like to mess with electronics, whether it's lights or fans or TV or radio. They also like to move objects, make objects disappear, reappear in different places, that kind of thing. They can send animals your way. These are all different ways that they can communicate. So I'll start off with a small appetizer for you guys. So this was, I can't remember the exact year, but this was the day that my step-grandpa was being buried. It was his funeral. And later on that night, my brother went over to my old man's house, and they're having a fire in the backyard. It's nighttime. And my brother looks up on top of the house and he noticed that there's this big white owl chilling on the corner of the house, like 25 feet up in the air. And this thing was there for a while. My brother was like hooting and hollering at this thing and it never moved. It just sat there. And it was almost like illuminating, like it was almost like giving off light. And it was just sitting there chilling. And my brother decides to pull out his camera and take a picture of this thing when it just completely disappeared right in front of his eyes. So, kind of strange, right? Anyways, moving on. Where should I go with this one? Okay, so this was probably back in 2008. I was married at the time, and I was living in a townhouse, and my in-laws came over to help us paint. So we're all on the stairs painting, 2 feet apart from each other. We're all painting the hallway, and my phone rang. And so I pull out my phone, and when I looked at the call display, I couldn't believe my eyes. Now, my brother-in-law was murdered years prior to that. And so when I looked at my phone and I saw his name, Alan, his middle name and his last name appear on my phone and it's ringing, I was blown away. Now, what's even crazier is I never ever had his phone number or name programmed in my phone. So the fact that it was ringing with his full name on it was kind of mind-blowing. I answered it and it was just a bunch of static. Obviously, no one was there talking. So that was kind of trippy. Now, these next two occurred after 2013 when my mom passed away from cancer. My brother and myself, we met at my old man's house where my mom used to live, and we decided to have a fire that night. So we're in the kitchen to begin with, and in the living room, my dad's got a long, drawn-out living room attached to a kitchen, right? We had my mom's urn up on a shelf, and right below it is the house phone. It's on a table stand like 3 feet off the ground, right? So we're in the kitchen, we gather our stuff and we walk right through this living room to the sliding door and we go outside. We start the fire, we're doing our thing, some time goes by and my old man's like, gotta go back in the house to do something. As soon as he opens up the sliding door, he's like, what the heck's going on here? The phone was in the middle of the floor. And this was about 10 feet away from the table stand that it was originally on. And it was beeping, going beep, 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 beep. Now, we were the only ones in the house. And when we originally walked outside, there was no phone in the middle of the floor, especially not a beeping phone. If a phone's going to just fall off of a table for no reason, which is still kind of weird, it's probably going to fall about 2 or 3 feet max from the table, not 10 feet in the middle of the floor going beep, 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 right? Kind of weird. So this next story is one of my favorites. And this was, you know, at a time where I was smoking cigars way too much. You know, I was smoking like 10 cigars a day, smoking the Colts, buying the packs, right? And I show up to my old man's house. We go into the garage, and I pull out my pack of cigars from my dad one. He's like, yeah, sure. So I give my dad a cigar, get one for myself, put it in my mouth. He puts his in his mouth, and then we start patting our pockets looking for a lighter, right? Like, who's got a light? Who's got a light? And my old man's like, oh, you know, let's go into the kitchen. We'll smoke out back. I got a lighter in the kitchen. Right prior to this, I made a joke about, oh, you know, mom's probably watching us, shaking her head saying, no, you shouldn't be smoking, right? So my dad walks ahead of me by about 3 feet, and I'm right behind him. We both got our stogies. And right as we were about to go into the kitchen, I felt this presence to my side. Now, I didn't see or hear nothing, but this presence, this feeling was so strong that I looked over to my right to be like, you know, what the heck's going on here? And when I looked over to the right, my cigar broke perfectly in half and dropped to the floor. Now, I look up over to my old man who's walking right in front of me, and he's on an angle. I can see his cigar, and his cigar broke right in half and dropped to the ground. Now, this was so mind-blowing that, you know, I don't know, what is it, 2000, so like 7 or 8 years later, we still have the cigars. We kept them because this was so mind-blowing to us, you know. You might think originally like, oh, the cigars were broken or already like cracked or something like that. I was a cigar connoisseur at the time, and I always observed my cigar. My cigar was perfect. And so this was just kind of mind-blowing to us. And this is how spirit can communicate with us down here in the physical. So I thought I would share. This video was inspired because, you know, I've experienced so many weird things. I just bought my son a fish in a fish tank for his birthday, and it just disappeared. Like, completely disappeared. Like, we took out everything. It was gone. So I thought I'd share some crazy stories with you guys. I hope you had some entertainment value, and just want to say thank you for all those that subscribed. More people can see the videos that way. Thank you very much, and have a great day.